Are you a successful entrepreneur or one in training? You've got the vision, but do you have the right partner to build your brand, your team, and your future online and off? At cprfirm.com, we offer expert consulting, financial guidance, and life coaching because we believe in doing life with our clients. After all, what is it for a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Founded by Callan Cash Coleman, we help our clients not only succeed, but plan to retire rich. Your business deserves the best. Start building your legacy today at cprfirm.com.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Make sure you pick up my two books that's in Amazon right now. The first one is Passive-Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. And I talk about in that particular book how the system of white supremacy really runs on our daily lives here in America. In our latest book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we go through those steps to try to deprogram you from the system of white supremacy. Make sure you can pick up those books on Amazon.com.
Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
At African Diaspora News Channel, we cover stories that don't receive mainstream attention, and we serve as the voice to the global Black community. We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media, connecting the African diaspora one story at a time.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are here Monday, December 23rd, running just a little behind today. The reason why I'm running a little behind, ladies and gentlemen, is because it took my little girl to get her some new glasses. She had broke her glasses, poor thing, and we had to had to super glue that thing and tape it up and all kind of stuff. So had to rush in there, try to do a appointment. A lot of people in there. Oh boy, they said, "Oh, it would be 40 minutes," and I wait. We didn't leave out of there at least almost 3 hours. We was in there. I said, man, So luckily they had a sale, 50% off for the frames, 50% off for the lenses. So I got to save some money there. But outside of that, yeah. So it kind of had me running behind. Had to go to the grocery store. Then had to go up there to the cake shop, drop my little girl off, with her mom at the cake shop. If you are in the Houston area and you want to get some great cakes, whether you want a sculpted cake, because, Sweet Extravagance Cake Shop do sculpted cakes, cupcakes, pies, you name it. We're doing all that at Sweet Extravagance Cake Shop. So make sure if you live in the Houston area, definitely Missouri City, Sugar Land, but wherever, everything is from scratch. A lot of people enjoying it, is coming in. You may see me in there behind the counter. A couple of you have met with me at the cake shop. So you just never know when I may just pop on in. I met a couple of y'all. Great conversation with y'all. I love talking with the people. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to talk about Fat Joe. And we did, on the podcast, talk about Fat Joe a couple of days ago. And the first day initially, a lot of the videos start coming out, but we want to do a little bit of a deeper dive with Fat Joe because it's an issue that a lot of people are having. Not just Fat Joe, but others who are not liking how Black Americans are practicing exclusivity with our culture finally, right? So let's go ahead on since it's Monday real quick. Let's go ahead on and get the super mayor in, and then we'll get started.
Hey guys, it's Super Mayor Tiffany A. Henry, the people's mayor.
Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet, the mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work.
What is that?
No comment. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
So this is what it's all about, guys. They don't want a black person in power. They don't want a woman in power. If you ain't seen that yet. And someone so young. Everybody gotta understand, God give you what you can handle. That's what God give you. He ain't gonna give you more than that. As long as you can stay the course, fight the fight, and keep going, that's what we're gonna do here at Thornton Township.
Clerk, what are you doing? You out of order. You out of order. Did I call the roll? Did I say call the roll? I'm still speaking. You're out of order, Clerk Key. You out of order, Clerk Key. Like, stop. Y'all out of order. Everybody want to run stuff. Y'all don't run this house over here. Stop, please.
So now you have to listen in order to learn. Remove her.
That's what all the hate is all about. It's all about your super mayor became too powerful too quick. So rare, so unique, and that's what everybody got a problem. It's all about control. And I stand in the fight because I want the boys and girls of the next generation to see what it looks like to come out of controversy and to come out of all the hatred unscathed. At the end of the day, God gives the test to his strongest soldiers. Throughout all the controversy, throughout all the drama, all the naysayers, all the haters, and I see some of y'all in the line. Let me flip the camera around so you can see them in the line. Whoop, there she go. Look, right there. Whoop, that part. But they'll tell you that. Then they get in a little hate group. But you in my line, getting food, your kids out here bouncing in a bouncy house, you on the skate rink, all that. To actually stand in the fire while doing it, and guess what? Doing good and looking good too at the same time.
Shoot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to the super mayor, Tiffany Henry. Shout out to her. I just heard recently that she can't hire certain people. The judge has blocked her from doing that and all of that. So we will see, what will continue to happen with the super mayor. All right. So let's go on and get started, ladies and gentlemen, with Fat Joe. Now, we asked a simple question. Why can't Fat Joe fight for Puerto Rican culture? Why? It's just a simple question, because I pondered on that you never hear him fighting for his culture, standing up for Puerto Ricans, Puerto Rico, but he always in our business as FBA. He always in our business, right? Putting his mouth in somewhere it should not be. Now, we're going to revisit the video. I'm going to play the audio of it because, last time I played the full video of it, then they wanted to try to put a claim on it and all that stuff. So we're going to try to play the audio of it this time or whatever. If you want to see it, use it on X or anywhere else. I got to upload that video actually to the app. And make sure you download the African Diaspora News Channel app, Google Play and Apple App Store. Once you get there, make sure you click create account, and you can do monthly, quarterly, or yearly. It'd be great. We close out the year with 10 people a show joining the app, whether it's yearly, quarterly, or monthly. Thank you for joining. Thank you for everyone who has joined this year. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. This month been kind of on the app, a lot of interesting to see on this month on the app. But hey, people at Christmas, right? But Fat Joe just don't get involved with his culture, because I don't know if he's not interested in it. I don't know, and I don't really care. But I do take issue with him and others taking issue with Black Americans finally practicing exclusivity. So let's go ahead on and play what Fat Joe had to say. A lot of people was very, upset with this, not pleased with this. Fat Joe been on one. We know Fat Joe has been hanging around with the Democrats. We know that, right? He was up there with Kamala and fine. Okay, so now Fat Joe is the Democrat shield and everything else that go in between. Fat Joe could not inspire the Hispanic community to come out and vote for Vice President Kamala Harris because he's spending all day long arguing with FBAs about our culture. Well, let's go ahead on and get to this. Let me. I forgot to add it, so I'm gonna have to add it this way. Hate when I do it that way, but hey, it's gonna be the audio.
These rumors were made by radical black racists. Let's just say that. Okay, it's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican. Don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a black guy that ain't down with them. Right? So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't black American.
Who are these guys?
You want me to say a name? We're going to give them too much clout.
I mean,
the FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever these brokers is. I'm just keeping it a buck. And their shit's to attack everybody on Twitter. You see this run them? Like, your leader? Oh, man, you gotta be kidding me, man. And so they trying to change the narrative. They're not from New York.
Right.
So they telling a whole nother story. This was whoopity doop wop. Yo, bro.
All right. So this the thing about Fat Joe right there. And I'm gonna cue it back up. But the main thing that stuck out with me is calling black people racist. That's just really stuck out. If you so-called in the culture, right? And people like Fat Joe say, well, I'm part black too. Okay, sir. Let's just play with you for a minute. You're part black. What is a radical black racist then? You're radical black racist too? According to some of them say they are black Puerto Ricans. Don't get me wrong. They are black Puerto Ricans. Don't look no different than me and some of y'all in that chat. Okay. And if you look at the black Puerto Ricans, they are dealing with it in Puerto Rico. Okay. Just go look it up. You can see it on YouTube. Every place in Latin America where the brothers and sisters are at, they're dealing with some suffering. They're dealing with some racism. People that look like Fat Joe is always causing them a problem. It's not me making that up. I'm telling you, you can go look it up yourself, all on YouTube. Go look at documentaries or what happens with brothers and sisters in Latin America. So actually, the colorism is worse in Latin America than even it is here in the United States of America. At least FBAs fought for certain rights and protections that those brothers and sisters don't even have in Latin America. You understand? And that's why I keep saying next year we got to bring in some Afro-Latinos to this platform to tell that story because they go through it out there in Latin America. You have to understand that Spanish colonizer that came from Spain, which is a European country, came from Spain, brought all that there. Now, he was a little different than the British colonizer. The Spanish one made them all think, well, we all a family. Even though you colonize, we all a family. And the British colonizers like, oh, no, you ain't no kin of mine. Get your behind. I don't care if you half white. Get your behind right back out there in that cotton field and pick some cotton. That was most of the difference. But it was still colonization. It was still slavery, nonetheless. So let's cue this back up because certain points I want to make in my allotted time. So let me go back here to Fat Joe.
These rumors were made by radical black racists. Let's just say that. Okay? It's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican, don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a black guy that ain't down with them. Right? So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't black American.
Okay, now, everything he said is a lie. It is a lie. Why is it, instead of him saying, whoever the interviewer, why did he say, okay, they don't want to hear it, but what is it they don't want to hear? Like, what is being said by these other groups of people they don't want to hear, Joe? What is it? And every time that Black Americans are saying, hey, man, chill out with that, we don't want to hear that, it's when you're getting involved in our cultural business. When you're getting involved in our reparations claim. When you get involved with certain things of our aspects of our culture that we say enough is enough, we're going to start gatekeeping that now, right? We're not going to let you come in here and say you co-created anything. We're not going to let you come in here and say you was the first one when it was a lie. Because y'all have to understand, telling the truth about our culture has people upset. Because what's happening is now these other groups can't grift. Black American culture has been a big grift for everybody. Definitely the folks. The folks are living great off of Black American culture. If you look at the music industry, right? Look at who's the executives. They aren't black men. They aren't. It's not that many Puffies out there, right? It's not that many Jay-Z's out there. It's not that many 50 Cents out there, right? No, it's not. It should be the norm to see black men running some stuff or doing something in music because they created it. The problem that the next level of gatekeeping Black Americans is to gatekeep the folks out of it. I understand you're doing it with everybody else. That's the challenge. Gatekeep the folks out of it. Because a lot of you are gatekeeping now, but you haven't gatekeep the folks out. The folks are still signing you to record labels. The folks are still putting you in 360 deals. You still going to the folks for representation. You're going to the folks for this, that, and the third. And they're making all kind of money off of you, off of your culture. These people, a lot of these people, especially in California, Hollywood, wherever, they are living great lives off of your culture. And I remember, I never forget that interview with Charlemagne on the Breakfast Club when he was interviewing Lear Cohen. And he was talking about the kind of music that they were making, that kind of music, cause violence and stuff like that. You say, well, yeah, but, my family got to eat. He don't have to worry about that music touching his community. His family got to eat. Who they eating off of? They eating off our culture. So I understand we getting that Fat Joe, and yes, we get that Fat Joe, but don't just keep it at Fat Joe. Keep it at all of them who aren't Black American. If something's a Black American creation, then it should be Black American owned, controlled, and ran. Period. You can't stop no other group from rapping. You can't stop another group trying to sing like us. You can't stop it. But we can gatekeep it as much as possible to the point that, see, let me tell you about other groups. About this guest thing in the culture, right? So let's use the Chinese. You can go to we all can go to the Chinese restaurant, right? Eat Chinese food. We can go watch a Chinese play. We can go to China. We can, buy some hats, clothes or something to dress like them or something while we in the country. We can have a great time in China, enjoy ourselves, right? But that's where it stops. When you start getting into deep Chinese business, like Chinese politics, Chinese family dynamics, Chinese music, Chinese anything that's very close about their culture, their traditions, that's when the Chinese gonna say, that's where you cut off at. You don't got no mouth to say nothing about our politics, our family structure, our music, our arts, our entertainment. Nothing we do. Your mouth, you stay over there. You go enjoy the food, you can enjoy everything you want to enjoy, but you're not coming in China, run off at your mouth, getting involved in something. And if you think you do, we gonna show you better, we gonna tell you. That's gatekeeping your culture. Black Americans, for a long time, did not gatekeep our culture. We allowed everybody to come in and grift. Fat Joe wouldn't have been created if he wasn't allowed to come in and grift by Black Americans. So keep it what it is. And when you let people come in and grift off your culture, they get arrogant, like Fat Joe. And then Fat Joe black people say, hey, man, you need to stop using that N-word. And then he makes a song later and say he ain't going to stop saying it. He just keeps repeating it over and over and over in that particular song. And because he's been allowed to do that for a long time, that's why he got a problem with it now. Because he said, wait a minute, I've been doing this for I don't know how many decades. Now all of a sudden y'all got a problem with it? I've been making music with other black folks. Now y'all got a problem with it? And then now black will say, yeah, well, that black person you're talking to, they're not FBA, they Caribbean. So they don't take an issue with that. Or this person's from the continent, or this person from here, there, whatever. And when black Americans started to delineate, just like everybody in the diaspora delineates, we were the only group that did not delineate. We was the only group to say everybody black, everybody come on in, everybody come on now. We was the biggest people of saying let's come together, we all black. And how many times have they tell you I'm not black, I'm this, I'm not black, I'm that, right? And then black Americans finally said, okay, well, you rejected us for so long. We heard you. Now that we heard you, you're saying, well, y'all hateful, y'all xenophobic. Like, no, who's hateful? Who's hating anybody? When they commit crimes, now they can't just dump it on black people no more. Now paperwork is being checked and say, oh, no. That person's not a black American. He's from here. So don't dump all your bad on black, because that's what used to happen. They would get a degree or whatever. Oh, I'm the first this, I'm the first that. I'm a Jamaican American, I'm Cameroonian, I'm whatever. But if that same person or somebody within their community commit a crime, oh, look at that black crime. And then you go look at the person, they're like, he ain't from Mississippi. What are you talking about? But why are you saying black crime? So have you noticed some of that narrative about quote unquote black crime has changed? Have you noticed that too? The conversation about black crime, since black Americans started to practice delineation and exclusivity. Have you noticed some of that conversation has gotten kind of quiet about black crime and black on black crime and all of that? I hope y'all noticed that. And yes, times have changed, Keisha. Times have changed, but it's good. Have you noticed that just the slow progress is happening and it's freaking everybody out? So everybody is offended by that. Even the folks have taken notice that we're not allowing nobody to dump nothing on our group. And let's call it what it is. Nobody should be dumping anything negative on anybody's group. I don't care who you are, where you come from. It's not right to do that. But for years, we sat up here and we had to take everybody's negativity, everybody's crimes, everything bad that's in the diaspora, when they come to America, dump them on black Americans. And now that we say, no, take your trash right with you. You got a degree, great, and take your trash too. That's just like we got our own trash that we got to deal with. We got enough. We're not going to sit here and just take everybody else's trash and while we got our own to clean up. We got a whole lot to fix in black America. In fact, Joe, what he's seeing is his days of grifting is over. Who's sitting here jamming a Fat Joe record? Nobody. Why don't he just go start making hip hop songs in Spanish? Go do it for Puerto Ricans. Go do reggaeton or something. Go do that. And you ain't got to worry about FBA and about Guyanese. And like nobody got no problem with no Guyanese people, Fat Joe. What are you talking about? You just creating a problem. Nobody got a problem with no Jamaican. Nobody got a problem with nobody. They're okay. They brothers and sisters in the diaspora. They distant cousins. Cool. The only time we got a problem is if they get in politics and act like Yvette Clarke. Talking about she's now the head of CBC. She has a Jamaican, background, right? She's first generation. Talking about the first order of business is immigration. See, that's the problem we have. We don't have a problem with her being from Jamaica. No. We don't even have a problem with her being in the CBC. The issue is when you start prioritizing things that doesn't benefit black Americans, then that's when you take a problem with a Representative Yvette Clarke. You know what I'm saying? This is what we take a problem with Representative Ilhan Omar. When she's talking about she gonna fight for Somalia, and yet she's here in the Congressional Black Caucus. She's not in the Somali caucus. She's in the Congressional Black Caucus. And talking about she gonna be fighting for Somalia? Why don't you fight for Black America? Somalis will benefit. Trust me, they will. If you fight for Black Americans, any immigrant who's from the diaspora will benefit wholeheartedly from our fight. Trust me on that. That's how it's been. But let's continue. Let's continue.
For these guys, you want me to say a name? We're gonna give them too much clout. I mean, the FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever these brokers is.
Now, I'm never impressed about talking about another man being broke. That's what women do, Joe. Women throw that insult at a man. Oh, he broke anyway. When men start doing that? Oh, he broke. Like, that's on some feminine energy to me, bro. And all y'all laughing about that, that's not funny. Like, what's in another man's pocket? Or he don't have anything in his pocket. What that got to do with me? Or what that got to do with somebody else? Okay, if every FBA was broke, if all of us had zero in our bank accounts right now, what they got to do with what everybody talking about? It's still our culture, whether we broke or whether we rich or whether we middle class or whether we working class or we upper class. It don't matter what we got going on, whether we wealthy, it's still our culture. Don't matter about how much money we have. See, you want to be in our culture so much that you won't go into your culture. Once again, Joe, what is wrong with your culture? Matter of fact, why are you not in Puerto Rico doing things in Puerto Rico? That you're in New York talking to the black people. Well, you know, I heard they're Caribbean, but you in black folks' face still, right? You're not in Puerto Ricans' face. Because let's call it what it is. If he leave black folks alone and go with Puerto Ricans, nobody even remember him. He know Puerto Ricans can't put him on. He know that. LA, let's talk about that. And I've been watching that conversation for a while. So sometimes I watch what some of the Mexican rappers talk about in LA. And one of the main gripes with black artists is they don't put them on. And they said that a lot. Multiple of them say they don't put them on. Yeah, they popular in their community and they do shows in their community, but they can't get like national attention like a Kendrick Lamar or whoever else. And so they feel that black rappers should put them on. You understand what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with that. Like, why you want somebody to put you on, bruh? If you rapping, go rap, go do you. Like, why brothers got to be putting y'all on? What have we been put on in their culture? I don't see nobody putting us on in anybody else's culture. But we always got to be putting on somebody. Listen, let me say something. I like what's it called? TV Off. I do. Kendrick put Lefty Gunplay in that. He's making a big deal about one line that he did in the song. Kendrick did the majority of the song, bro. Like, don't act like you was doing bar for bar, you know, like you did a whole 16 that was just phenomenal, and Kendrick followed behind you or something. Well, he doing all these interviews about a hook. I mean, you're not even a Nate Dogg type of person, right? Nate Dogg can do a hook and make the whole song, right? Man, I miss Nate Dogg. But that's the way he acted. But that was the same dude that say he didn't want his daughter, you know, marry no black dude. But yeah, you gonna get on the music with somebody black? And you want black people to put you on? I heard you try to backtrack it and clean that up. But still, put him on. Once again, put yourself on. People like them will say, we got more numbers. Okay, you got more numbers. That means more people listen, right? Put yourself on. Even the folks not putting you on. Why? Because the folks know at the end of the day, you don't move the culture. That's FBAs, right? So that's scary to a lot of people. They can't come and siphon off our culture and get millions and billions of dollars off of it. That's the problem. Now, a Caribbean or an African or maybe an Afro-Latino probably can come in and have a little bit easier time. But when it comes to those even outside of diaspora, they really scared about that. But see, if Fat Joe would literally follow Eminem's example and kept his mouth shut for the most part and just did his music and went home and not get into too much conversation like Fat Joe keep doing, nobody probably wouldn't have too much of a problem with Fat Joe right now. And Eminem never got into it with all the politics and all that sort of thing. So if Eminem come out and do something, say, oh man, this what Eminem is doing, right? Ain't nobody got a problem with somebody being of a different community, but have some doggone respect. But Fat Joe doesn't respect black people. That's really what that's about. Fat Joe himself, I'm not talking about all Puerto Ricans. If Fat Joe don't represent all Puerto Ricans, they got Puerto Ricans that watch this show all the time. I've met Puerto Ricans in New York. Shout out to the Puerto Ricans. They've been cool with me. Fat Joe don't like black people. That's why he has vitriol toward black people. How dare you tell me I can't come in and out of your culture when I get good and ready? How dare you? How dare you? You set up perimeters. How dare you tell me what I can and cannot do and what I cannot say about your culture? How dare you? Who are you? Now, let me play something else. I want to bring up something that was being said. Let me play this.
I'm just keeping it a buck. And this shit's to attack everybody on Twitter. You see this run them? Like, your leader? Yo, man, you gotta be kidding me, man. And so they trying to change the narrative. They're not from New York.
Right.
So they telling a whole nother story. This was whoopity doop wop. Yo, bro.
And you're not from Black America. How are you going to tell Black Americans what stories they can tell? And I didn't know you had to be from a particular location to tell a story. I didn't know that. That is the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. You got to be from Houston, right? In order for you to tell a story about Houston. So a person in New York can't do a documentary on DJ Screw. A person in California, LA, can't do a documentary about Fat Pat. A person in Chicago can't do a documentary about the Kappa Beach Party because they not from here. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life, Joe. That is dumb. You sound like you kin to that other Joe Biden. At least Joe Biden got an excuse. What's yours? But another thing, I want to point out, make sure I get this out before we end. Like for a while, we have, African immigrants say, you guys don't have a culture. And I chewed on that for a while, that you don't have a culture thing. Of course, in reality, that we know that's farthest from the truth. And we've combated that. That's that. But let me tell you the part what I really think they was trying to say but didn't know the right words to say. In most cultures, there's exclusivity. There's gatekeeping. Everybody can't come in and out of everybody's inner workings of their culture and trying to get good and ready, right? Everybody's not trying to give you their culture. They're not trying to teach you their dances. They're not trying to teach you their language. If you go learn it, you learn it on your own. Or maybe if you married somebody within that culture, maybe you'll learn some of it. But if you didn't marry somebody or maybe lived around them or something to pick it up, or maybe you just want to do research on the language or something, whatever, Duolingo, whatever you own, right? Most people are not teaching you the inner workings of their culture. And so when you hear a person say you don't have a culture, part of culture is exclusivity. Because when a culture is valuable, you don't give it to everybody. You can, like I say, you can come eat all the soul food you want. You can go to all the nice R&B, lounges and clubs, and you want to go to the concerts. You want to, hey, you want to dress and You want to style your hair. You want to do all the things that the culture do, and you want to enjoy it, fine. But when it comes to Black American politics, that's when you stay your behind right over there and keep enjoying the culture. When we talk about Black American family structure, what we do, what we've been through, what's happening in this country, we talk about our relationship with, the anti-Black racist. You stay over there enjoying the food. You go ahead and eat Big Mama's sweet potato pie. Enjoy that. Stay over there enjoying that. We gonna deal with these issues over here because this is what we want you to enjoy on the culture. You want to go listen to Chris Brown? Go do that. You want to go to this concert? Go have a great time. But when we talking about an anti-Black hate crime bill, you can't come over here talking about that because you're not part of the culture. You understand? When we talking about reparations, you're not part of the culture to talk about that. Now, you can support what we're talking about, saying, I support the culture, I support Black Americans, and I hope they get what they looking for because I support Black Americans. They my distant cousins, they whatever. Okay, hey, we accept that. We got your support. Hey, you need me to vote, man, on some reparations. You need me to vote for anti-Black hate crime bill. I'm there. Cool. That's being a definite ally within the diaspora. And just as much if I'm in your country, you need me to do something for you. Hey, I'm there. I'm not going to put my mouth in your business. Now, of course, you got an opinion maybe about different things, but you keep that opinion to yourself. And you do you. You don't get yourself involved. You're not trying to run for public office to undermine what we got going on. That's where the problems happen, be honest with you. Most of the problems happen at the political level, financial, things like that, the undermining. We know the folks is going to try to undermine. We see them coming. But we don't need definitely people in the diaspora helping the folks trying to undermine underneath the Black face. You understand? And so we have been kind of just checking that when that comes up. It's nothing from hate. It's just an understanding, right? But with people like Fat Joe, he's coming from a mindset like he's a colonizer. You're talking about Drake. No, Fat Joe is a colonizer too. Fat Joe has seen his career evaporate for his eyes because let me tell you something about the cut with Black people. Once Black people get to the point, they don't mess with you, you're done. You're done. You are done. You might as well go do some reality shows. You might as well go call, what's her name, Mona Scott Young and go on Love and Hip Hop. He might as well go over there, Boulay Martin or something, and go be a lackey for the Democrats. He might well go do that. He might well go join Plies or whatever. And D.L. Hewley and all them, Steve Harvey. He's not just need to go join them or something. But really, his rap career is done. Nobody want to hear him. He's been too disrespectful. Even his old stuff, I don't want to hear it because he's been too disrespectful. And it's like this. Nobody have those feelings about you or about Black Americans in particular overnight. He been feeling that way about Black people. He been feeling that way. And they were saying there was a man, I seen glimpses of the video where the man was talking about that he either was around DJing or something around Fat Joe, and he used to say greasy things about Black Americans. I don't know if some of y'all saw that video, but I have to go look that video up. But if that's, because I didn't fully see it, I just heard about it and saw glimpses. If everything that man is saying is true, it makes sense why he talked the way he talked. But some of y'all in New York will get on my nerves is y'all sit up here and let these non-Black people say the N-word in your face, and that don't bother y'all. Oh, you don't understand the culture of New York. You don't understand. You're right. I don't understand letting a Puerto Rican, not a Black Puerto Rican, a Puerto Rican that look like him. He's not even one of the dark Puerto Ricans. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got something that's really dark. You talking about one of them Puerto Ricans. No. But who is it? Who's Puerto Rican? Isn't Erica Mena Puerto Rican or one of them things? Who else is Puerto Rican? And Erica Mena got in trouble. She's dark, right? But he's saying that in your face constantly, but what if you go say a slur about his people? Would he be agreeing with it? Would he be like happy about it? Would he be like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about? You see, now a guy like Charleston White, shout out to Charleston White. See, I guarantee you Charleston White would do it, because Charleston White, he can get away with that. You know, certain people can get away with saying things. I bet you Charleston White would say something like that to his face. See, he needs to talk to Charleston White. I love to see that. I love it. And shout out to Charleston. You say Detroit don't play? I've heard that. But you know, Chicago don't play either. Chicago don't play that. Like I said, I'm telling you, New York City, there's a great brothers and sisters in New York. Man, every time I go to New York, I always meet people. I mean, you're talking about people that's FBA and a diaspora. Man, I meet a lot of people when I'm in New York. Great people. But that's just the one aspect I don't like, is all that N-word mess with all these other groups. So like, bro, like, you not, like, why are you saying that? And notice none of these other groups that like to say the N-word, they never say the word that's directed toward their group. Everybody got a word, right? And none of them say those words. They don't put it in their music. They don't call each other that. They don't call their women that. They don't say none of that. But oh boy, they have no problem saying it to us all day long. Oh, Eric, now you know how we get down in Texas, Eric. Come on. That's the South. Texas is the South. In the South, we don't play all that, bro. Yeah, that guy from Texas, you already know. Man, listen. Mexicans down here don't be disrespectful like that. Man, Mexicans and blacks get along down here in Houston. Real talk, we do. I'm going to say this much. Because I grew up in Houston and even where I grew up in Port Arthur, blacks and Mexicans never had a problem. We never had a problem. I think the first time I really heard about like some discrimination with Latinos was most out of L.A., and then I just never knew it was like that, because in Houston, we never had them problems. Not at all. I mean, you got, they got black people got they criminal element, just like Hispanics got their criminal element. But for the most part down here, everybody get along. It's not a beef over here. It's really not. You'll see blacks and Hispanics at the rodeo, concerts. Like, there's no beef like that here. But when you go to LA and all that, that's a different beat. You can just kind of feel that temperature in the air is a little different. You know, I don't know what the deal is out there, but it's not like that here. But, keeping it 100, we have more numbers here. Texas has the most black people in the United States. And it's definitely in the Houston, Dallas, all them areas like that. We got numbers. So when you have numbers, people going to get along with you a little bit better. In LA, black people don't have the numbers like that, like they used to. So people will test you a little bit when your numbers are low. And that's what that is. So, ladies and gentlemen, and that's just keeping it real and the reality speaking and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But with Fat Joe and all that, maybe he just needs to go do some reggaeton or something, and go join Bad Bunny and any of those artists like that, right? Go do a song with Daddy Yankee. Maybe he did already. I don't know. I don't follow Fat Joe like that, but he need to move on out of our culture, because Fat Joe is really public enemy number one for FBAs. And, Busta Rhymes was getting that work too, but see, Busta Rhymes kind of backed off. He said, okay, yeah, let me not do that. Busta Rhymes backed off, and Busta Rhymes kind of, he understood. If you paid attention, Busta Rhymes understood. He like, man, nah, hey, I ain't trying to ruin my career, right? Because he was teeter-tottering on that too, Busta Rhymes, until maybe somebody pulled his coat and say, hey, man, don't do that. Come on, bro. We had nothing but respect for you. Don't mess your career up. You're not going to make no tour money once you mess your career up. But Fat Joe, yeah, he dumb. Yeah, he is dumb, but he's done. He's done. Ain't nobody trying to listen to no Fat Joe. Forget a Fat Joe. I mean, what did he really do on his own anyway? To be honest with you, the one who was the better rapper was Big Pun. Big Pun was a way better rapper. And Big Pun had respect for the culture. You never heard nothing disrespectful about Big Pun at all. They say he was very, very respectful to the culture and a solid dude. Now, Fat Joe, on the other hand, well, as you can see to today. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, like I said, thank you for joining us on the stream tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Make sure you click the like button. That's also very, very important. I know some of y'all out there shopping and all that. Don't get yourself in debt. Listen, you buy, you want to buy something, hey, a gift card is fine. Or whatever, right? You don't have to be something very expensive. Remember that statement. It's the thought that counts, right? The thought that you thought about someone enough to give them a gift, okay? It's not about the monetary value. It's the thought, okay? The thought. People that celebrate Christmas, what it's supposed to be about, the birth of Christ. Not, am I going to go into debt? And in January, I'm in all kind of debt. And it's going to take you until March or April to get out of it, okay? That's not in retail stores. I love you to do that, to keep you in debt. Oh, they love it, right? They love it. But don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Don't tank your credit score and all that stuff for gifts. Trust me, it's one day. That one day going to leave. You got to eat the rest of the week. You got to keep your lights on next week. Trust me when I'm telling you all of this, it's one day. Spend time with your family. Spend time with friends. Make that be about family time, okay? If you are a married couple, make that about spending time with your husband, spending time with your wife, spending time with all the family, okay? Prioritize your wife, your husband, your children. It's about that. And I'm gonna tell you something. I can remember all the times I spent with my family, but I rarely remember some of the gifts that was given. But I do remember, hey, we, did this, we ate this, we all laughed about this. Those are things that you're going to hold in your memory, not a gift. Gifts are nice, don't get me wrong, they're nice. But it's about that quality time with family. You know what I'm saying? That's what's important. There's so many things that we can do that don't cost money. And America teaches us, so we need to spend money, spend. We spend to get enjoyment, but we spend so much that we get in depression. We're not happy. You know what I'm saying? Because we spending so much money when sometimes we can do things for free that actually can make us happy, right? With family, with friends, or whoever else, our children. So with that being said, thank y'all for watching, and we greatly appreciate it. Make sure to catch us. We should be doing this tomorrow. I know I got to go with family tomorrow, but I think that's a little bit later and everything. But I think we should be here tomorrow. Yeah, we should. So thank y'all for listening, and we'll see y'all on the next one.